Let's talk about Taylor Swift.
Most of the dads listening to this podcast definitely came here for this conversation.
Teaching your kids intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. Let's talk about Taylor Swift. She is keeping us all alive at the moment.
Let's just talk about the fact that we were just with someone and they got a news alert from People magazine while we were sitting there.
A notification pop up. She'd be so mad if she hears this too.
That Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. But I'm trying to wrap my head around the decision making that clicks yes when, first off, when you're downloading the People magazine app. That's your first problem. And then second, when it's like, can we send you notifications? And you're like, yes.
Breaking news.
That's remarkable.
And then I went to get my phone.
And you had a lot of texts about it.
30
That's true.
people had texted me.
I was genuinely surprised when I pulled up the New York Times app, and that was not the main story. It was sure, Trump firing one of the people on the Fed seems like a big deal, but I would think if the New York Times knew what they were doing, this would have been the main story.
I feel like you actually mean Yahoo News when you say the New York Times app, because I know that you use Yahoo News more than literally anyone.
Well, I don't have social media on my phone, and sometimes I need to brain rot.
Great. So, what else?
I don't know. You asked to start there.
Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really excited for the album release. I don't know.
Should be good.
I just have weird energy, and I'm very excited about it.
Do you think it's going to be good?
I mean, yeah. What's going to happen is we're going to listen to it once. You're going to be like, I don't know. And then like a week later, you're going to be like, so I listened to it 155 times.
She's on quite a streak. I would think the odds would say it would not be good. Like, just like the odds were against the Chiefs to three-peat in the Super Bowl, to put out 3 great albums in a row is like pretty difficult.
I have something to say about this. Often when Taylor Swift comes up in our household, which it does because we're all Swifties, you say, she's just doing too much. It's too much.
I know, it's classic
It's too
projection.
much work. And yes, that's what I'd like to discuss. Do you feel like you've had 3 bangers in a row? Like one of them is going to be a miss?
Well, yes, I worry about that, certainly. Well, I did 3 great books in a row, so it's more for me. It's 4. 4 seems unlikely.
What were the 3? Just saying of your books, not like did you have 3? You're saying the last 3 were bangers?
Well, that's what in a row means.
I mean, but you've written all of your books in some sort of row. So like you're saying the last 3 were bangers? What about like your growth hacker perennial and then like ego era? Is that the one that came out right after that?
Well, those aren't in even any kind of order.
Dude, the fact that I thought of 3 of your books.
I know, that's pretty remarkable. But if I said 3 in a row and then I'm worried about the 4th, that would only be that could only mean the last 3.
It seems like you are avoiding what I said.
Look, I'm just concerned. Why is she putting them out so close together? It's
like
a lot.
One a year, like one every 18 months. That feels like maybe too much.
Well, I didn't go on a world tour or anything in the interim.
You didn't travel like 68.
So the 2 folk albums, the two folk albums, they came out when, like 21 and 22.
No, I think it was like peak pandemic, wasn't it? 2020. I don't know. It's not important.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Not objectively, it's a lot when you consider the pace that other major pop artists put out albums. Like Rihanna hasn't put out an album in like 12 years or something. It's something crazy. So it's very unusual at that level.
We talked recently about, yes, at that level. Yes.
It's very unusual.
It's very unusual.
And then to do it so close together.
And they're all a little different. And it's very interesting to like, especially that interview that you did to your work. But I'm here for me.
I'm sure the people listening, most of the dads listening to this podcast, definitely came here for this conversation.
I want to know more about the pacing. Like, you know that's too much. You can see when somebody else, and even if it's not at the whatever, and you and I were talking about like the other side of that coin is, authors who've written really amazing books and it almost paralyzes them to write another.
Yeah, there's something about just going to the next project that's really good. But what happens is you kind of, and I don't think it's in the case of Taylor Swift, but I can see it happening with me because I got a call from my agent a couple weeks ago. He's like, so when are you thinking you'll have this book that you're working on now? What do you think? And he proposed a release date, and I just said, well, okay, so when would delivery be? And he was like, oh, that'd be like December. And I was like, this December? And then you realize like, oh, that's great for the publisher. That's great for him. That's great for the bookstore. It's great for all these other people. And they're just treating me like a machine that can meet any deadline that is put in front of me, which at some level I can.
Well,
but I was just like, no way, no. Like I first off, because I'm actually enjoying doing it. Like I'm really liking the routine right now, and I'm actually liking like the ideas in the book. So I was like, I'm not gonna rush it. I was like, it'll be done when it's done. You can take it then.
I think that maybe the difference is like you're writing books that you want to write. You're writing a book that you want to write. You're writing books on top like that you feel compelled to write for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You like going on these explorations of thoughts. You like the patterns. I think that maybe the difference is when you really love what you're doing and you're doing it for you because it's something that you're interested in and it's like whatever, versus doing it and setting the pace and putting the things out because you're like, this is what will perform. This is what we'll achieve. This is like what's going to hit these, like be as good as my last. That can't be the motivation. That's like external motivation.
And look, I would be very impressed if Taylor Swift is just writing albums and putting them out because she likes them. But the stakes are very different at that. Like they're multi-billion-dollar decisions, effectively. So like, I would, and also she has to collaborate with lots of people, so it would be unusual. But I mostly just have my head down and publish stuff comes out of the other side.
Okay, wait. I think that there's a tie back to parenting here, which is in what I just said, which is teaching your kids or instilling like intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. So like having like agency and taking accountability and like seeing like natural consequences, natural rewards instead of like extrinsic. So you are acting this way to achieve this goal. You are finishing this project to achieve this thing. I mean, we are a generation of like reading so we can get hand pizzas or whatever.
Or just stickers on a chart.
I
would say the thing I actually like the least about the schedule that I've been on is not the work part of the schedule. It's that like coming in about, well, starting this weekend because we have to go to LA to do that thing. Is that I have to interrupt the part of it that I like, which is the writing of the next book, to go backwards and promote the one that's been done for like Wisdom's been done since December of 24 and it's coming out in October of 25. So I have to hit pause on this thing that I'm 4 months in on.
Right.
To do hours of interviews every day and travel and go on TV and stuff, which is all like great and like what you want early in your career, but like it actually is taking you away from doing the thing, which is the part of it that I like doing. Yeah.
It reminds me of the quote, don't let school take away from your education. Where like you can't let like
people confuse publishing and writing, and like working on the books is the writing part and then the launch is the publishing part. And so that's the least fun part.
So you have a book coming out?
October 21st.
I'm the least stressed out about just the general existence of this one. I think that like even the balance in our relationship in the household, like now that you've written 4 books. 6.
Are you generally stressed when I am putting out a book?
Yeah.
But what are you like? Are you stressed because of the disruption, or are you stressed because you're worried about the outcome?
No, I think probably earlier in your career, I was worried about not even the outcome, but how it would impact you.
So you weren't worried about the outcome, but you were worried about how the outcome would affect me and how that would then affect you. And
right, well, or I care about you.
No, I'm just saying you're not like you're not like biting your nails because you
I want your
care
book to be
either
successful.
way. Yeah.
No, it is less important to me that your book is successful and more how you're handling if it's not or whatever. And I think now you have you're more reasonable about what success looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like hitting lists. It's not selling an insane amount of copies.
Although paradoxically that happens more now that I care about it less.
Yes, I think you've learned many things
through
the process. and it's also a little bit less disruptive, but it was like, I mean, your first couple books, it was like very stressful and like taxing, 'cause it's like, I want it to be successful because like that's what you want and I want you to have that, but also I don't know what success is. Will you ever feel like it is successful? Will that void ever be filled by all of it? And like, how do I balance that on the like grounding side? And I think as you've been writing books and then publishing them through the time that we've had kids, it's been like not a totally smooth process. Like that was a really rough thing for us to navigate. Even just like getting into a headspace.
What about Daily Dad, where it's like, I can't go to New York and be gone for 12 days to put out a book about parenting. What kind of parenting is that?
And also you don't want to.
Yeah.
But you might have used to feel like you had to. You were saying yes to one thing and saying no to your kids. And now you're better at saying no to that and whatever. And also like, I don't know, we've taken the kids along with things. And previously we probably wouldn't have been able to take the kids because it would have been really stressful to try to like navigate parenting and showing up for the kids in a reasonable way. With like having to perform essentially, but we've really like nailed that down. Our kids are like better at like navigating those situations. Mm-hmm. Our kids take great joy in just like nagging you constantly.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, that's my favorite part.
When we were in Greece, which we don't have time, but we could.
What now?
When we were in Greece, it was, I think that at some point when you get recognized in public, when our kids are a little young, it can be stressful if it's not navigated well, because they're like, oh, we're being perceived. And I think it's always uncomfortable to be perceived. But this trip, we made a game out of it. You were in competition with cats. Mm-hmm. I have a full spreadsheet. It's color-coded, dated, about how many cats we were seeing versus how many times you got recognized. And so then it turned it into like somebody saw you or they said something or whatever, which is always like, it's always a joy.
Sure.
And sometimes it's not. But always the people who are like, I think somebody emailed in, they're like, I feel like I was weird because I like whatever. And I was like, no, I love that. That was like so fun. But the kids would be like, someone would come up and talk to you and they'd come over to me and they'd be like, another one for dad. 22 cats to one dad getting recognized. Mm-hmm. Put it on the spreadsheet. I feel like, okay, you nerds. So I don't know. I think we've gotten a lot better at navigating that as a team, including the kids, than you just being like on your own. And then you're also aware of like, if you're like taking things too seriously or you're like getting too deep into this hole of the consequences that has, not for us necessarily, but for your own like mental health and how you contribute to the team.
Yeah. To bring it full circle though, I'm just concerned the album's not going to be good.
But when they come out, you're always like, every single time you're just like,
it's just not enough time.
Not enough time to produce a good situation. But that hasn't been true. And also, we're all holding on by a thread.
I know. That's why I'm going to be concerned if it was rushed or it's
if they're recording a podcast and behind her, every single book is an Easter egg. Like literally books that are blurred in the background that people can't see. Every single one is an Easter egg. And she has the like time and energy to like put into that.
Well, if you listen to that podcast, it seems like she's spending a lot of time making bread and not writing songs.
Well, you're writing a lot of books and you're not making me any bread. So
that's what I'm saying. It's a consuming task.
You seem like you're working a lot harder.
I know.
But I'm not. I have to tell you, because you said Hamilton, like every other word that has come out of either of our mouths, I've almost started singing Hamilton.
That's odd.
Okay, bye.